Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste and a very warm welcome to all of you to Blub World Web Talks 142nd episode. In the last 141 episodes, we have talked to, interacted with more than 2,500 school leaders on this very platform, जहाँ पे हमने उनसे जानने की कोशिश करी, समझने की कोशिश करी that how is education changing, how is it evolving, and what all innovative are they doing to improve education. Thank you so much once again for joining in. Before we start, just two small things about the platform. Love World Web Talks is basically a series of virtual roundtables. And most importantly, this is not a speaking marathon, it's a speaking sprint. I would request everybody, please keep yourself on mute. Most importantly, the speaking time is limited. So if you get muted, please don't get offended. It is just to finish this activity on time so that it remains crisp and more enjoyable for everybody. So before we start, we have quite an interesting topic for today. आज हम आप सबसे बातचीत करके ये समझने की कोशिश करेंगे कि हम लोगों को पढ़ा लिखा क्यों रहे हैं. Why are we educating them, and what typically is the objective of education, or is it changing, or is it evolving? Or to put it very simply, as the topic of today tells us, that education for employment or empowerment or empowerment or employment. ये समझने की कोशिश कि हम सशक्तिकरण करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं या रोजगार बनाने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं. Before we start, it's a bilingual platform, so you can use English or Hindi, any of the two languages. Try sticking to these two. If you want to use, you can use a third language, but I won't get it. So try sticking to these two languages. So before we start, इस पूरे राउंड टेबल्स का बेसिक मोटिव या इन सब के पीछे का करने का कारण ये है कि हम लोग ये जानना चाहते हैं, या रादर दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी एजुकेशन रिपोजिटरी बनाना चाहते हैं, कि अगर आपके पास कोई ऐसा आइडिया है, कोई ऐसी इनोवेशन है, कोई ऐसी बात करने को है जो आपसे कई सारे स्कूल सीख सकते हो, अपने इंस्टीट्यूशंस में इंप्लीमेंट कर सकते हो, तो दिस इज अ प्लेटफॉर्म टू शेयर इट. सो इफ you're doing anything amazing, you have any such idea, any such innovation that other people can emulate or learn from you, this is the platform for you. A very warm welcome to all of you once again to the Blub World Web Talks 142nd episode. Let me invite the first speaker for today. And जैसा इस platform पे normally होता है, major participant or the major speakers are the school leaders, लेकिन we bring one odd bird. That one odd bird is typically the person who puts in a bird's eye view to the whole discussion. कि कभी वो हायर एजुकेशन से होते हैं, कभी वो एजुकेशन के एक्सपर्ट होते हैं, कि थोड़ा सा कोई तड़का या छौंक लगाने वाला होना चाहिए, नहीं तो ये क्लास बन जाएगी rather than a discussion, because हमारे पास टीचर्स बहुत सारे हैं. So thank you so much once again for joining in. A very warm welcome to the first speaker for today. This is Soumya Agrawal, co-founder and CEO for iGen Plus from Sonipat, Haryana. Soumya ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio and a very warm welcome.
Thank you. Namaste, Daksh. Namaste, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here, and congratulations to Blub World for doing some amazing work with teenagers and young audience here. I am Soumya, and I started this organization called iGen Plus. It's basically focused on promoting teenagers and designing learning experiences for them, which is something that the schools are not able to do due to their constrained timings. So that's about iGen Plus. However, the topic of the discussion today is why do we need education? Is it necessary for employment or is it for empowerment? And this debate is not new. We know that we've been discussing the purpose of the education for millennia now. Why do we do education? Is education necessary? What do we mean by literacy? Who is supposed to teach us? Who is responsible for the education? And many other such questions. And I'm glad that Blub World has organized such a holistic discussion and a roundtable with teachers. I personally believe, and that is what we are also trying to deliver through iGen Plus, is education should not be meant for any of these two. Rather, it should be meant for self-discovery, discovering yourself, discovering your potential, discovering the strengths in you, discovering what is that you can contribute through you to the growth of the society, to the growth of your family, to the growth of your community. I think that should be the bigger purpose of the education. Once you get that right, I think empowerment and employment will anyway follow you. So if I know that my strength today is designing learning experiences, and seeing students going through those experiences, learning something new, maturing out of those experiences with something that they haven't explored of themselves before. And that sort of discovery of myself has contributed to the better world. I think whatever I did in my education past doesn't really matter. So that's one. And second, I certainly believe that whatever the purpose of the education is, let it be employment or empowerment, as long as we have as long as we have schools participating holistically, as long as we have parents participating in the growth, as long as we have community participating in the growth of any one child and of all the kids around us, the education will find its ultimate purpose. So instead of making students sit for an exam and telling them to score more than 90% or more than 95% to get into a good college, or getting into an entrance, pass through an entrance exam to be in one of those ultimate colleges that the world wishes you to be. I think once we tell them that, um, um, contribute to the community, bring the entire community into the learning fold, give them projects such as, where they are ensuring that their community produces lesser greenhouse gases, their community is getting sustainable, the school that they are going to is ensuring that sustainability is there, there is no bias, there is equality with respect to gender, with respect to multiple other areas. Once that sort of initiatives, that sort of focus, that sort of approach.
Thank you so much, Soumya ma'am. The 3 minutes were over. Now to summarize and take some of the most important points जो आपने कहे, and I think you have given the discussion a very nice perspective जहाँ से बातें ली जा सकती हैं and we can move ahead. I think you started with education for contribution. Contribution को epicenter में ले आइए. Let's keep employment and empowerment aside. If you can contribute to the society in any way, शायद वो एक बहुत important factor हो. उसको epicenter में ले आएंगे तो education अपने आप अपने track पर बनी रहेगी. And most importantly, finding a way to find the strengths of an individual, that how he contributes to the society, कि आप समाज में actually दे क्या सकते हैं, उस पर focus कीजिए, उस strength पर focus कीजिए, then education will find its real purpose. And finally, जहां पर wherever the complete holistic participation happens, where everyone comes together to raise a child, everything falls into place or education happens in the right way. जैसा कहा भी जाता है, it takes a village to raise a child. So ऐसा actually है भी, क्योंकि जब आप किसी बच्चे को पढ़ाने की कोशिश कर रहे होते हैं, उसके बहुत सारे पर्सपेक्टिव, बहुत सारे एस्पेक्ट्स आपको हमेशा ध्यान रखने होते हैं. So thank you so much, Soumya ji, for your contribution. Let me now invite the next speaker for today. Now we will be listening to the school leaders जो हर रोजाना वो लड़ाई झगड़ा कर रहे हैं, ऑनलाइन क्लासेस चलाना, स्कूल रिज्यूम करना, छुट्टियां देना, और ये सब कुछ घर में बैठे बैठे करना is not an easy task. So let's know from them, how are they dealing with change, and most importantly, what do they think? Is education meant for empowerment or for employment? Let me invite the first speaker principal for today, Mrs. Vartika Sharma, Director Academics at Victor Public School from Delhi. Vartika ji, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio, and a very warm welcome.
Good evening to all. It's my great pleasure that you provide me this platform to share my views. As the topic is education for the employment or the empowerment, as I feel, before the employment, the education is for the empowerment. Empowerment is a wide word, is a wide sense. In the you can say it is related to the wealth, power, position, anything else. But when we are providing the empowerment, which is provided by with the education, that is different from others. If you're just showing that what is education, education is not only earning the certificates, earning the degrees. It is just art due to which you can just make a person cultured. You just make a person expert. You just make a person complete. And with this, it has just become more responsible and diligent towards the country, as I feel. I don't feel that the education gives you a topper of the school, it gives you a CEO of the company. I doesn't feel that education is related to that. But most important thing, how we are dealing with it. If we are just showing that, if we are just showing only the empowerment, the education of the women only for the empowerment, not for the giving them employment. Empowerment by the education tells us about our rights, our responsibility, as I feel. But nowadays, it's our hard luck. According to the new education, the new generation is very much aware about their rights, but they are not aware about their responsibility, neither towards their family, neither towards their country. So main objective of the education is to make the students or to grow the student in such a way, if they are getting knowledge from the books, then how they are implementing them in their life, right? If we according to me, अगर मैं ये कहूँ कि एजुकेशन क्या है, मेरे हिसाब से एजुकेशन वो है जिसे आपने किताबों से सीखा, उससे आपने कुछ अपनी जिंदगी में कमाया, उसे अपने जब बुद्धि में समाया, बुद्धि में समाने के बाद अगर आप उसे अपनी लाइफ में नहीं उतार पाए, दैट इज वर्स्ट. मुझे ऐसा लगता है दैट इज वर्स्ट. अकॉर्डिंग टू मी, व्हाट इज एजुकेशन? एजुकेशन इज द वे in which we can grow a child with all ethics, culture, and new technologies all together, and to make them able to adapt and face the challenges in the surroundings. And they should be able to just cope up with the challenges and to break the old customs which are not fruitful in the present scenario. So I think.
Thank you so much, Vartika ma'am. The 3 minutes were over. So to summarize what you said, you started with first empowerment and then employment. क्योंकि empowerment से शायद employment अपने आप generate हो जाएगा. Education beyond certification, but the challenge with the education and typically education industry in South Asia, or rather when we talk of India, यहाँ पे certification is the most important thing and everything else is secondary. So we need to actually think on the mentality shift of the people who are consuming it, क्योंकि education का customer या consumer certification पे focus करके बात करता है, शिक्षा को भूल जाता है. And rights are a priority over responsibility. That's an absolute reality कि हम कहीं ना कहीं उन दोनों चीजों को बैलेंस करना, आपस में साथ रखना नहीं जान पा रहे हैं. And जो आपने जहां पे बात को conclude किया, I think that's a very valid point that can be taken even forward, that education is simply ethics. Is it that ways? We need to think on it, more ponder it, more deeply on it, and most importantly, अगर education ethics है, तो value education तो हम लोग घर से expect करते हैं, तो schools को क्या करना होगा? So we'll have to question a lot more when we talk on the lines of education just being ethics. So thank you so much for your contribution. Let me invite the next speaker for today, Mr. Abdul Samad Thavalengal, Principal Al Amin Senior Secondary School from Malappuram, Kerala. Sir, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio and a very warm welcome.
Okay, thank you. Lovely good evening to all. Dear leaders, dignitaries, and ladies and gentlemen. In Kerala, even though the pandemic situation is very severe, we are blessed with two things. The first one, already the rainy season has been commenced last week onwards. Anyway, now we are discussing a very relevant topic. I am very much glad to be here with you in this evening session. The topic education for empowerment or employment. Really, these two concepts are interrelated. But we know employment has the great role in our life. But when we consider the society, the human beings, the humankind, the empowerment is the most important one. So the real goal of the education, no doubt, it is more than the occupation, more than getting a job, more than an employment. The empowerment of the society, that is the most important one. We know in this world, millions of schools, colleges, other education institutions are there. But still, we are hearing the sounds of unhappiness. The millions of people still live in horror, fear. We know that is because of not the lack of the qualifications or the certificates. But here the real motive of the education, we know that. The education really, it is an endless process from cradle to grave. So through the education, as what we have learned from our beloved father of nation, Mahatma Ji, it is an all-round development of a child, all-round development of a person. So through the education, we should underline insightful education we have to impart among the students. Really, I am a captain of my school. I know the real situation, what are going on in our schools and among the children. Now, some others already they have pointed out and underlined. Insightful education we have to impart among the students. My plan really to inspire the students to grow and live in a peaceful way. So the certificates and all other things are important, but with those things we can't lead, we can't create a civilized society. When the pupil, when the humankind become a civilized one, when he get educated. So to make the pupil civilized one, a cultured one, no doubt we have to impart, we have to inculcate insightful education, education with ethics, values, and no doubt the education helps to read well, to speak well, to write well, even to work well. So I underline the real motive of the education, it should be empowerment.
Thank you so much, sir. The 3 minutes were over. Now, to summarize what you said, you have actually put out some very amazing points. पहला, interrelated empowerment and employment, ये दोनों चीजें आपस में interrelated हैं, but the problem is we rather weigh the employment aspect rather very heavily on the empowerment aspect of it when we consider the expectation metrics of a parent or an expectation metric of a consumer in education. Empowerment more important, education from cradle to grave, what we call learning for life, that UNESCO and all the UN bodies even are talking at the moment, that learning for life, it should not stop, not learning for a living, learning for life, going to empowerment rather than just employment. And finally, a very important point that I think must go ahead with this discussion is that a certificate or certification would not create a civilized society. And that's where the criticality of empowerment becomes much more important than employment. So thank you so much, sir. Let me invite the next speaker for today, Mr. Laksh Chhabadia, President, Affordable Private Schools Association from Delhi. Lakshji, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio and a very warm welcome.
Thank you, Dakshji, for giving me opportunity to speak on this Blub World platform. First of all, my all fellow panelists have agreed that education is more about empowerment, hence it is not about employment. And we have to understand what is education. Therefore, I want to touch the meaning of education, since we are all educators and we must be very clear that what is education and what is the purpose of education and why we are educating our children. Therefore, I would like to start with the quote of Swami Vivekananda. Education is the manifestation of perfection, which is already in a man. Therefore, education make us fearless beyond any limitation. Education gives us self-belief. Education gives us life purpose. Education makes us focused, gives us compassion, humility. Education is beyond curriculum. Therefore, we are undermining the value of education by saying that education is only for the job. Education is the most precious asset we could have. Like, I would like to add one example. Raw steel has some value. If we convert it into a pin or a pen, it has some more value. If we make it a car, it has some more value. If we make a spaceship or any aircraft, it has highest of the highest value among all. Therefore, yes, it is true that education gives us empowerment and employment. And if we educate one person, we change life not only of an individual, but of the family and the extended family and the society from where the child belongs. We remember all the revolutionaries and legendaries, all because of their knowledge and education. We remember Lord Krishna for enlightening us in Bhagavad Gita. All famous scientists are known for the knowledge they have given to this world. Now the mindset of the people is getting changed. Now we are following, we are becoming more rational. We are working now. Therefore, all the educators have said that education is more about empowerment, not about employment. this is all mindset is changing in this society. It is all started after the dialogue of three idiots. कामयाबी के पीछे मत भागो, कामयाब बनो, कामयाबी आपके पीछे भागेगी. Therefore, we are the educators. We have to understand the importance of education, how the onus is on us. How can we make our society away from hatred, crime, terrorism, fearness? So, the hello, am I?
Thank you so much, Laksh sir. The 3 minutes were over, लेकिन आपने काफी अच्छे points brought forward. I think where you started from, that education is just a manifestation of perfection. वो एक aspect जरूर है उसको देखने का. हम सब जानते हैं, समझते हैं that empowerment is in its essence of it, or the going by the word meaning of it, more critical, more important for education than employment. But what do we do about the parents and about the community that only wants employment out of it? क्योंकि वो हर बच्चे को केवल उस मार्कशीट पे आने वाले नंबरों से जज कर रही होती है, एंड उस जजमेंट के बेसिस पे ये जानने की कोशिश कर रही होती है कि इसका जीवन क्या होगा, एंड वहां से अपनी क्रिस्टल गेजिंग चालू करती है कि ये 10वीं के नंबर है, ये 12वीं के नंबर है, अब इसके आगे इससे ऐसा भविष्य बनेगा. बिकॉज दैट्स अ कैरी कैचर वी ऑल डोंट वांट टू ड्रॉ, एंड दैट all of us even don't want in our lives. I think as a school, as an institution, now it befalls upon all of us, all the school leaders, all the academicians, कि how do we do that mentality shift? जो आपने जैसा कहा भी कि 3 idiot syndrome हुआ, काफी लोगों को 3 idiot से वो थोड़ा बहुत शिफ्ट पैदा होना शुरू हुआ, लेकिन वो उसके आगे कंटिन्यू कितना रहा कितना नहीं रहा is something that we'll try to know in the coming from the coming speakers. Thank you so much, sir, for adding your perspective. Let me invite the next speaker for today, Mr. Arvind Saxena, Senior Administrator from the Vidya Vihar Residential School from Bihar. Arvind ji, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio and a very warm welcome.
Good evening. Empowerment and employment are two different aspects. With or without both, their existence is not viable. In Sanskrit, we say, बुद्धिरस बलम तस्, अर्थात जिसके पास बुद्धि है वही बलवान है. One who has knowledge is strong. Francis Bacon says, knowledge is power. Education makes a person right thinker. Education makes a person right thinker and able decision maker. And this can only be achieved by education, which acquaints a person with knowledge of world around him. He gets acquainted with history and performs righteously at present. Historians may say whatever they like, but the reason behind the revolt in India was the formation of DAV colleges by the British. A person that gets education will be more open to the avenues for life of his or her choice. An educated person will be a better citizen and able decision maker. This is the reason why people always prefer an educated or more educated person over an uneducated or less educated person for employment purposes. Even for a petty job, even for a job which has to be done for domestic work, we need educated people. Indians think that education is only for employment. They must understand that education is empowerment and mostly for enlightenment. It provides strength and it teaches you to learn lessons to succeed in your life. If you are educated, you are independent. It provides you basic confidence and you can survive everywhere. Education serves as a launching pad for your career and life. It opens the window for the unknown and unseen world. When you pursue your passionate and other areas other than for employment, if there are any setbacks, you can take support of education and go for employment. Hence, education is not merely for employment, but for empowerment. Education is beyond employment and above enlightenment. Lastly, in the words of M.S. Rao, education will help you in adversity when your passion fails to take you to prosperity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Arvind ji. And I think you started it in the very right manner, with the very right words, that buddhiras balam tas, कि जिसके पास में बुद्धि होगी उसके पास बल होगा. What you simply say कि अगर आपके पास में वो शिक्षा, वो ज्ञान है, उसका रिजर्वॉयर कहीं ना कहीं अगर आपके पास तैयार है, तो आप कहीं ना कहीं ज्यादा रिसोर्सफुल होंगे, समाज के लिए ज्यादा कुछ कर पाएंगे, अपने इतिहास से सीखेंगे और अपने कल को सुधार पाएंगे. And I think as education, and when we look at the definition of education, this should be kept always in mind, that education is something that should become a security for you, an asset for you, for your lifetime, that whenever you fall into a crisis, you are always able to, get back to your education, and that might be able to help you. इस चीज को हमने बहुत अच्छे से सबने रियलाइज किया when COVID hit. जहां जहां ज्ञान का कहीं ना कहीं से कोई ना कोई उजाला था, वहां पे जीवन आगे बढ़ता रहा, कंफर्टेबल रहा, कहीं ना कहीं से मैनेज कर गया. लेकिन जहां पर वो एक्सपोजर, वो एनलाइटनमेंट नहीं था, वहां पर वो चैलेंजेस ज्यादा बड़े हो गए, वो चैलेंजेस ऐसे हो गए जिनको फाइट नहीं किया जा सका. So thank you so much, Arvind ji, for adding this perspective to discussion. Let me invite the next speaker for today, Mrs. Raina Verma, the principal of Cambridge International School from Kullu, Himachal Pradesh. Raina ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio, and a very warm welcome.
Thank you. A very good evening to one and all present over here. Thank you, Bloodworld, first of all, for today's session. Today's topic, education for empowerment or employment. For me, education is not preparation for life. Education is life itself. I think first we should know what education is. Is it knowledge from books? Is it knowledge imparted by the teachers? Is it something related to the marks, scores, grade, achieves exams? The very first thing we have to explore about what education actually is. There were so many people who did exemplary work. When we talk about Galileo or Michael Faraday, they have given a wonderful experience and wonderful things for science. And when we talk about Mark Twain or Charles Dickens, famous writers of their times, due to their circumstances, they were not even they didn't even get the formal education. So what we can say, that we can achieve education only in the four walls. Education is nothing but simply a process of learning and gathering information. One can be educated from the surroundings, from his society, peer groups, and from so many other resources. Education provides us an insight to look into the things in a different way. I'm not against the formal education, because I just want to say that a fistful of educated people is enough than piling the heaps of illiterate bunch. It seems more appropriate in today's scenario, as government machinery faced so many difficulties to make people aware about corona. Most of the people are reluctant to take vaccines, they have more faith on superstitious things. A good education helps one to be more decisive, helps to know about their rights and duties, about the consequences of sins committed. Education is all about, mannerism, taking and sharing responsibilities. Nowadays, mostly the education is limited to bookish knowledge, getting good grades at higher and secondary classes, desperate to get admitted in reputed colleges and good job. Only few are getting good job and many are jobless. This is the reason that the percentage of unemployment is increasing day by day. Everybody is going for corporate or government jobs, but today's education system does not talk about developing skills, whether they are life skills or get skilled to be a breadwinner. Our education does not impart enough skills or courses that enables person to become self-employed. So I just want to say that all the schools in India should be empowered, should empower the students with education, and automatically, employment will run towards them. Students should be explored. They should be given the real life situations. They should be asked to solve the real life situations. So I would like all the schools in India to go for this. Give them space, give the students space, let them explore, let them solve the real life situations, and let them be empowered with knowledge, with skills.
Thank you so much, Raina ma'am. So to summarize what you said, some important points. Again, education is gathering, learning. Kahin na kahin, इंसान, human being as a species has been खाना बदोश, कि वो हमेशा से अपना खाना कलेक्ट करने इधर से उधर दौड़ता रहता है. अगर एजुकेशन को भी उसी टर्म्स में डिफाइन करने की कोशिश की जाए, तो इट इज सिंपली अ गैदरिंग ऑफ लर्निंग्स, कि कहीं से भी कुछ भी आप अगर सीख पाएं और वो आपके पास रह जाए, वही आपके लिए ज्ञान बन जाता है. और कहीं ना कहीं आपने जब कुछ पढ़ा, उस पर चिंतन किया, थोड़ा सा मनन किया, तो कोई भी सूचना ज्ञान में तब्दील हो जाती है, विजडम में तब्दील हो जाती है. So I think this would be a very nice way to address the whole issue of empowerment and employment, कि कहीं ना कहीं बस learning इकट्ठी करते रहें, or what we say learning for life. And what we can see around us, that a lot of superstition is gaining traction, क्योंकि हम कहीं ना कहीं शिक्षा से, ज्ञान से, समझदारी से थोड़े से दूर आ गए, और उसी वजह से हमें जो बड़े बड़े चैलेंजेस कोविड के फेस भी करने पड़े, वो कहीं ना कहीं उसी वजह से थे. Because education is the only solution that can empower the whole world. And where you concluded your statement was, let's empower the school so that it can empower the children. Thank you so much, ma'am. Let me invite the next speaker for today, Mrs. Sheba Matthew, principal of Radcliffe School from Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. Sheba, ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio, and a very warm welcome.
Thank you so much, Daksh. Good evening to all, and I want to thank World for giving me this opportunity. As all of my speakers before told, I would also say the same thing, that education is for emancipation and for empowerment. It is, if we are educated, we should be able to speak for ourselves and to respect others' opinion. And more important, it is to become better citizens of the world so that we are able to absorb all kinds of culture. I would like to divide this topic into two: education for empowerment and for employment. Why I'm dividing it into two? Because definitely one is related to the other, but yet I would like to divide into two, because for me, you are only empowered if you are able to give back to the society. If I am educated and yet I'm not able to stand up for myself, I'm still a victim of many of the things around me, then I feel I'm not educated proper enough, and education has not empowered me at all. So for example, like Greta Thunberg, at the age of 15, she could stand up for a cause. So at the age of 15, she was completely empowered. For me, like Mark Zuckerberg, he dropped out of Harvard, but one small idea he could break up into a big one. So unless you're giving to the society at large, you are not being empowered. So for me, the ones who do a startup or become entrepreneurs and are giving to the society at large, for me, they're empowered. And if you look at our country, it is a very small section who like to take up a startup or want to go into entrepreneurship of their own. Now, why is it? Is the with whatever education was given to them, and that is how they could empower other people. Category, but who's enrolled in any professional course, after 5 years down the line, if that particular job is not available, do you have an alternative skill with you so that you can do something of your life? For example, me, I'm a principal today. If I lose my job tomorrow, maybe I can become a YouTuber and give my whatever experience that I have today, I can give it to the society back. So I should have an alternative skill with me, and then only you are empowered. So these things are very important. And the words of Malala, if I have got time, I want to just say one word that she said, that, extremists, they were afraid of her because she was a girl with a book. So the girl with the book at the age of 10 or at the age of 15 or at the age of 30 is empowered if she has the right skill and the right opportunity in front of her. Thank you so much for your patient listening.
Thank you so much, Sheba ma'am. To summarize what you said, jo aapne important points kahe, emancipation and empowerment, and the way you termed it as speaking for yourself, and most importantly, respecting the other person's opinion या उसका perspective, जो हम बहुत ज़्यादा as a community, as a society भूल चुके हैं, क्योंकि हम अपना अधिकार तो जमाना जानते हैं, लेकिन लोगों को समझना शायद हम भूल गए हैं. Having alternate skills, giving back to the society is empowerment. And yes, हम अगर शिक्षा को सशक्तिकरण से भी ऊपर अगर enlightenment तक ले जा पाए, तो वो बहुत बड़ा achievement हो जाएगा हमारे लिए as a community. Thank you so much, ma'am. Let me invite the next speaker for today, Mrs. Akanksha Srivastava, Principal and Director, Research and Training Development Department at the JP Modi School from Jamnagar, Gujarat. Akanksha ma'am, over to you for the next 3 minutes. Please unmute your audio, and a very warm welcome.
Namaskar, sabhi ko mera namaste. Am I audible clearly?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So firstly, lots of thanks to the Blub World for this opportunity. Number one, so the speakers have been really, really very informative and very enlightening. Thank you for having one such panel everybody on the same platform. Before I start saying something, I would like to share some data, and I think that should throw a lot of light on the topic of today, that is employment or empowerment. You see, the data of UNESCO says average level of satisfaction and employment status of Asian countries is less than 45%. Average level of the student satisfaction after the education when they fetch the jobs is less than 65%. Of Asian countries I'm talking. Now I'm telling you specifically about India. Willingness to pay for the level of education that they are given in India, it is less than 70%. Now coming to the national universities, the data of UNESCO says the national universities of Asian countries and some European countries, the data says that the students felt unsatisfied after completion of their master's program at the well-known renowned universities of the world. And so they landed up, as ma'am said, some of the speakers said in the beginning, that they land up doing something else of what they have never learned in their entire 4 or 5 years. So that is the harsh reality. Sorry for my words, but then that's how it is. Of course, even I'm an educator for the last 15 years now, heading various schools, universities at various level positions, but I still feel there is a lot of gap between the school education and the education forward. So when we discuss a topic where we are discussing about education and empowerment, employment and empowerment, I think this bridge and this shaking of hands is really, really important, and it is missing. The connecting link is absolutely missing. So in the words of Aristotle, I would quote, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but an habit." So if you want the students to realize that their life skills are a habit, we have to implement them right now in the schools. I heard a speaker discussing about how education system in India is lacking in these things. I am sorry, ma'am, for my words again, but it is not so. Please check the data. CBSE, Cambridge, IB, all the boards across the globe have been working really, really hard to implement the best possible skills so that the teachers can give the students real life knowledge along with the the bookish knowledge. The books have changed, the content has changed, the curriculum is changing drastically. The current NEP structure is giving you wings to make the students and let the students fly with these skill sets. Why not we implement them right now? Most of the schools in India would do what? They would wait for another 4 years, looking for each other's eyes, and then waiting for the challenges and coming over them. To share with the Blub World Plan the platform, I would like to share, I have personally done it in my previous schools also back in 2012, where my Cambridge students used to opt for real life case study problems, which later became a part of the assessment. Similarly, right now,
Thank you so much, Akanksha ma'am. The 3 minutes are over. लेकिन आपने काफी अच्छे points and काफी अच्छे data आप you have actually brought to the table कि हम actually किस reality में बैठे हैं जहाँ हमारे averages और हमारे numbers जो हैं they speak exactly the opposite of what we are thinking and what we are knowing. And this is what typically tells something about our society कि हम लोग कहीं ना कहीं research driven नहीं हैं और हमारा thought process भी empirical नहीं है. हमारा thought process perceptive है, perception analysis के ऊपर पे है या जैसा perception बना दिया जाए उसके ऊपर है. And when we go ahead, जहाँ पे आपने कहा कि school education और higher education के बीच का gap बहुत बड़ा है, and इसीलिए whenever at least on Blub World we try कि जब भी education पे discussion हो तो सारे strata and levels of education एक साथ हों, क्योंकि अब आप education silos में नहीं कर सकते, आप उसे segregate करके नहीं कर सकते. आपको education as a complete value chain एक ही बार में देखना होगा, एक ही बार में evaluate करना होगा. आपने एक बात बहुत अच्छी कही कि हम लोग कहीं ना कहीं improve कर रहे हैं, skilling पे ध्यान दे रहे हैं. But I would just want to make a very small and a simple point कि when even we talk about the national education policy, the first student who will actually benefit from the policy, the kind of changes that it will bring into the education system, will come out in the year 2040. ये समय बहुत ज़्यादा लंबा है, हमें इसे कहीं ना कहीं थोड़ा shrink down करना होगा, जो आसान नहीं है, because the elephant of execution in India moves very slowly. But ये उम्मीद है कि ये अच्छा ही होगा, क्योंकि ये as a thought process बहुत positive है, बहुत अच्छा है, क्योंकि इसी तरीके से हमें शिक्षा में आगे बढ़ना भी चाहिए, स्कूलों को independence देनी भी चाहिए. And finally, when change is happening dramatically, let's not lose the drama in it. अगर सच में NEP आपको opportunities दे रहा है, तो कोशिश कीजिए that you ride on it, उस वेव को जाने मत दीजिए, क्योंकि जाया हो जाएगी तो वापस बनाना बहुत मुश्किल है. So thank you so much, Akanksha ji. Before we move on to the next section of the discussion, हमने सभी जनों की बातें सुन ली हैं. जो पॉइंट्स थे वो सारे के सारे हमने एक साथ असिमुलेट करने की कोशिश करी इन द होल डिस्कशन. सो नाउ फॉर द नेक्स्ट 3 to 4 minutes इट्स एन ओपन फ्लोर. अगर आप म्यूट कर दिए गए थे, कोई इंपॉर्टेंट बात थी जो कि रह गई, जो कि कोई और नहीं बोल पाया, कोई बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है जिस पे आप सच में आगे रखना चाहते हैं, तो हम वो 60 सेकंड के 3 स्लॉट्स आपको देंगे. तो whoever wants that 60 seconds just raise your hand, I'll invite your name and then you can speak. ये अगले 3 मिनट इट्स एन ओपन फ्लोर, बट कोशिश कीजिएगा 60 सेकंड में खत्म कर दें, ताकि अगर if somebody has an extra point he can also add. So Akanksha ma'am, over to you for the next 60 seconds.
Thank you, and sorry for my taking extra time. Okay, so just one last point. Innovation in curriculum is something which is a continuous process. I believe educators, and that to such well-known, renowned educators on one platform, let us use such platforms to discuss such strategies which can enable our learners in the long process. And NEP implementation is possible for 2025 student also. I have done that. I have given my students all the options available as the life skill subjects. So you can do it if you actually aim for it. Thank you.
थैंक यू सो मच आकांक्षा जी. एंड हम ये प्लेटफॉर्म एक्चुअली बनाया ही इसीलिए ताकि हम एक दूसरे से कहीं ना कहीं पीयर इंस्पिरेशन पा सकें एंड रादर पीयर स्ट्रेटजी शेयरिंग हो सके कि आप क्या कर रहे हैं जो हम कर लें. सो ओवर टू रैना मैम. मैम, यू कैन अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, ma'am, what sir said that, yeah, our, policies are very good, very nice. NEPs really will be giving us wings to fly. And it's not that. I think most of the schools in India are working with the skills, they are teaching the students with that way only. They are exploring their students. But only the thing is that the execution process is very, very slow. I'm not talking about we can say a handful of schools are there who are really working with the real education system. But others, 90% or 70%, I can say, definitely they are not working with that. They are with the rote learning only. And still our children are with the rote learning process. We need to take them away from that. And what NEP we are going to follow, I think in the foreign countries, this NEP is totally being implemented from so many years. So that we want that we should work together so that really our Indian students who are really intelligent, who don't get a chance to explore, innovation, we want to make them innovators, not the crammers. So that is thing. So
Absolutely. rote learning से कहीं ना कहीं innovation पे हम लोग shift हो जाएं, वो आसान नहीं होगा, धीरे होगा, because when we actually talk of India, तो एक बड़ा major factor ये आ जाता है कि हम यहाँ पे शिक्षा बहुत बड़े numbers को देने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, और जब number बहुत बड़ा हो जाता है तो quality छूट जाती है, literacy important हो जाती है. तो ऐसे में I think कहीं ना कहीं wherever you get the opportunity, शायद हर एजुकेटर को थोड़ा impatient हो जाना चाहिए ताकि वो कहीं ना कहीं लाइफ स्किल को धक्का दे दे और वो कहीं ना कहीं बच्चे के जीवन में आ जाए. शीबा मैम, over to you for the next 1 minute. Please unmute yourself.
What I really feel is very important is to change the mindset of the parents also. That because, there is very few number of vocational courses where we want our children to be, and it's become like, everybody taking an MBA course, or there's an engineering course that everybody. So this kind of a mindset needs to change, that, you can take a physics, or you can take chemistry, or you can later on also change. So this kind of a change where even at the age of 30, I decided now this is not what I want to do. I want to completely shift over and move to something else. I should be given that liberty. Let me see at the age of 50 also, if I'm able to do something, that kind of a variation is we are not able to see in our country. And that is where we need to move on.
मल्टी करियर सबकी जिंदगी होने वाली. उम्र अब आपके लिए कहीं ब्लॉकेज नहीं होना चाहिए. आपको हर समय पे हर चीज करने के लिए तैयार होना होगा, बिकॉज सिंगल करियर लाइफ्स अब शायद नहीं होंगी, या बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएंगी, या बहुत रेयर हो जाएंगी. सो इफ एनी ऑफ द स्पीकर्स नाउ वांट्स टू टेक सम 1 minute or 2, they can do it. So just put your hand up and I'll ask you to speak. Otherwise, we are nearly at the conclusion of the call. I think most of us have spoken. So before this call comes to an end, let me just tell you a small little story. BloveWorld started with a very simple idea. क्योंकि हम लोगों को ये लगना शुरू हुआ था कि बच्चों को जो पढ़ाया जा रहा है वो उनसे बहुत ज्यादा डिस्कनेक्टेड है, वो उनकी लाइफ से कहीं जुड़ता नहीं, वो कहीं ना कहीं एप्लीकेबल नहीं होता. एंड द बिगेस्ट चैलेंज इज फ्रॉम टीचिंग वी नीड टू मूव टू इंस्पायरिंग, कि कहीं ना कहीं कोई तरीका निकालना होगा कि आप पढ़ाने की जगह उन्हें इंस्पायर कर दें या स्टिमुलेट कर दें. और वो स्टिमुलाई जब हम देने की कोशिश करते हैं तो हमारी स्टिमुलाई बुजुर्ग हो गई है. When we try to inspire through stories, we have stories of people that these children cannot relate to. And that's where the idea of BloveWorld was simply born, that let's find stories from children that can inspire other children. So one such story for all of you before this call comes to an end. This story is of a lady who's a teenager at the moment. she has never been to a school, is absolutely homeschooled. She had her first painting exhibition, or she started her painting career when she was 9 months old. Had a sold out show when she was 2 years old. Was invited to one of the most respected galleries in Europe when she was 7 years old. And she was on the cover page of Blub World just some months back. And most importantly, she right now is a millionaire, lives in Melbourne, Australia, and that's Elita Andre, the world's youngest professional painter. हम हर महीने यही कोशिश करते हैं कि ऐसी कोई ना कोई कहानी कहीं ना कहीं से ढूंढें जो बच्चों को इंस्पायर कर दे। और ये करते करते करीबन साल भर पहले हमें लगा कि let's create a body that brings all these innovators and all these teenagers from across the world together, and that's where the idea of the World Teen Parliament found its genesis. हम कोशिश कर रहे हैं दुनिया की पहली सबसे बड़ी किशोर संसद बनाने की, या the World Teen Parliament बनाने की. We got support from UNESCO, Mahatma Gandhi Institute, the Kindness Matters initiative to make this an even more impactful platform. The idea is to search for 100 teen members of parliament to become MPs at the World Teen Parliament. And most importantly, ये parliament बातों की, opinions की, criticism की नहीं है. This as a parliament is a parliament of idea to execution and from execution to investment. कि वो जो 100 बच्चे teen member of parliament बनेंगे, वो बनेंगे इस बेसिस पर कि वो कौन सी दुनिया की तकलीफ का या प्रॉब्लम का सॉल्यूशन देते हैं, एंड उनका सॉल्यूशन अगर सच में अच्छा है तो वर्ल्ड टीन पार्लियामेंट उनके आइडियाज को फंड करेगा. सो दिस इज एन अपॉर्चुनिटी फॉर देम टू गेट देयर आइडियाज फंडेड एंड वर्क ऑन रियल लाइफ थिंग्स. एंड द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर, दिस इज एन एब्सोल्युटली फ्री प्लेटफॉर्म. Nobody pays anything to participate. The only thing that you pay is your time, your attention, and your intelligence. Thank you so much, everybody, for being a part of the Blub World Web Talks 142nd episode. I think and I hope that you enjoyed. If you did, and if you want to attend the future sessions, you can open your audio, say a big yes, and thank you so much for participating. It was lovely interacting with you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Namaste, and a very nice good evening to all of you.
Thank you, Daksh. It was really enlightening.
Thank you, Daksh. In future,
Thank
if you
you,
will
Daksh,
call
sir.
us, then we will also there.
Definitely.
sir.
A wonderful
Thank you.
platform. Wonderful platform. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gather one more time in this platform.